1. Jacob Stockdale injury update. Ireland star out of Portugal game. 2. Jacob Stockdale ruled out. Ireland's injury update ahead of Portugal test. 3. Ireland's Jacob Stockdale returns home due to injury. 1. Jacob Stockdale injury update. Ireland star out of Portugal game. Here's a gut-wrenching update for rugby fans. Jacob Stockdale, Ireland's seasoned wing, has been sidelined from the upcoming Portugal match due to a shoulder injury, a setback that feels all too familiar for the player. But here's where it gets controversial. Is this recurring injury pattern a sign of deeper issues in player management, or just an unfortunate streak of bad luck? Let's dive in. During Ireland's commanding 34-5 victory over Georgia on Saturday, Stockdale was forced to leave the field in the first half, his left arm crudely secured in a makeshift sling fashioned from his shirt. The image alone speaks volumes about the physical toll of the sport. On Monday, Ireland's squad update confirmed the worst. The 29-year-old will miss the final game of the summer tour in Portugal this Saturday, 7 p.m. British Summer Time, and will consult a specialist back home next week. This isn't Stockdale's first rodeo with injuries. He was also forced off with a hamstring issue in his last international appearance against Fiji in November. It's a tough break for a player who, with 16 Ireland teammates away on British and Irish Lions duty, was the most experienced international in interim head coach Paul O'Connell's squad. And this is the part most people miss. Stockdale's absence isn't just a loss for the team, it's a missed opportunity for him to rebuild momentum after a string of setbacks. Meanwhile, there's a silver lining for Ireland. Cian Prendergast has recovered from illness and will be available for selection after sitting out the Georgia match. Additionally, Scott Wilson, Stockdale's Ulster teammate, has returned home after being called up as injury cover. O'Connell's squad appears otherwise healthy, and he'll announce the lineup for Portugal on Thursday. This situation raises a thought-provoking question. How should teams balance player longevity with the demands of high-stakes international rugby? Is it time to rethink training regimens or injury prevention strategies? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's spark a conversation that could shape the future of the sport. 2. Jacob Stockdale ruled out. Ireland's injury update ahead of Portugal test. Hold on tight, rugby fans, because Ireland's July test season just took a significant hit. A major setback has shaken the squad just days after a commanding 34-5 victory over Georgia in Tbilisi. Following their successful trip to Georgia, the Irish team arrived in Lisbon on Sunday, brimming with confidence. However, the mood shifted dramatically when it was announced that wing Jacob Stockdale will be unable to participate in the upcoming match against Portugal. The reason? A rather unfortunate shoulder injury sustained during the game against Georgia. Specifically, Stockdale attempted to catch a high ball and, unfortunately, landed awkwardly, resulting in the injury. Now, here's where it gets a little more complex. Stockdale is scheduled to consult with a specialist next week to determine the full extent of the damage and the timeline for his recovery. This is a crucial step, and the team will be closely monitoring his progress. Interestingly, not all news is bad. Cian Prendergast has made a remarkable recovery from a recent illness and is now available for selection this week, adding a welcome boost to the squad. However, another key player, tight head prop Scott Wilson, will be returning to Belfast. Wilson, who was a last-minute addition to the Georgia tour, didn't ultimately need to travel with the team, demonstrating strategic flexibility within the coaching staff. The team selection for the Portugal game is set to be announced on Thursday, and it's sure to be a topic of much discussion amongst supporters. It's worth noting that Italy's captain is also unavailable for their tour. As reported by Rugby365.com, you can find the link here. https://rugby365.com/rugby36824/1942157398237454662. Beyond Ireland, there's plenty of rugby news to keep an eye on, from player ratings for South Africa and Quagga's candid assessment, to a video of Rassie Erasmus expressing his concerns about a disjointed Bok performance. We are also seeing updates on the Under-20 Championship and predictions for the upcoming round, plus insights into potential threats from Fiji to Scotland. But here's where it gets controversial. The decision to rule out Stockdale raises questions about the team's overall depth and resilience. Can Ireland effectively fill the void left by his absence? And do you think the specialist's assessment will be overly cautious, potentially delaying Stockdale's return? And this is the part most people miss. The strategic decisions surrounding Wilson's return highlight the importance of squad management and recognizing individual player needs. What are your thoughts? Do you believe Ireland can overcome this setback and still perform well against Portugal? Let us know your opinions in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. 3. Ireland's Jacob Stockdale returns home due to injury. In a shocking turn of events, Ireland has sent home 2 players, including the talented Jacob Stockdale, who is in need of a specialist, following their triumphant win over Georgia in Tbilisi. Unfortunately, these players will not be participating in the upcoming match against Portugal. Stockdale faced his second campaign-ending injury during the 34-5 victory against Richard Carcarill's Rugby Europe champions. After a 15-month hiatus, he had returned to the field last November against Fiji, only to suffer a hamstring injury that sidelined him for the rest of the Autumn Nations series. It took until mid-February for Stockdale to rejoin Ulster, but by then, his chances of playing in the 2025 Six Nations with Ireland had vanished. Now, his summer tour has been cut short due to another injury. Interim Ireland boss Paul O'Connell had chosen Stockdale to start on the wing in Tbilisi, but his early success was cut short by this latest setback. He will now miss the final match of Ireland's tour. Joining him on the sidelines is fellow Ulster player Scott Wilson. However, there is some good news. Cian Prendergast has recovered from his recent illness and will be available for selection. The Ireland squad arrived in Lisbon on Sunday night, gearing up for their test match against Portugal. A statement from Irish Rugby confirmed that Stockdale will return to Ireland to consult with a specialist, while Wilson, who had been called up as cover for the Georgia game, will also head home. There are no further injury concerns following the victory over Georgia. The team set to face Portugal will be announced on Thursday morning.